So I am on the hunt again, but I'm not just on the hunt for any old thing. I am actually on the hunt for some Invaders comics. I recently rediscovered, if you will, my passion for the Invaders, partly because of the Human Torch and Toro and Namor. But I've decided that I'm actually going to hunt down some of these comics so that I can add them to my collection. I don't think that these books are really expensive, but I actually enjoy reading these comics. And so I know of one place where I can actually score some, so I'm going to head over there now, see what I can find, because I think that they still have them. So we're going to see what I can find, and then I have a lead on a private seller that actually has some of these books as well. I have a message into them, and I'm hopeful that they're actually going to message me back, and maybe, just maybe, it can work out that I could head over there and snag those books as well. As always, I'm going to take you guys along on the journey with me and try to document as much as I can. So I am leaving the comic book shop right now, and I am a little bummed. I messed up. I had an opportunity to buy those Invaders books last weekend, and I didn't. And now they are nowhere to be found. They are nowhere to be found, and I am definitely bummed that I did not pick those books up when I had a chance. And it's just one of those things that you never quite know. Like, you can pass on a book and you can come back and those books will still be there. And then there's other times that if you don't get them in that moment, you will regret it. And I definitely have a little bit of regret right now. But there are actually some good books that I did manage to pick up. I found a couple of boxes in the comic shop that still had the covers on them. I'm not sure that if they had even been picked over. I'm not even sure if the owner was ready to sell them, but I went through them nevertheless. I found a couple of cool books, and I am actually going to show those books to you a little bit later in this video. I received a message from that private seller that actually has those Invaders books for sale. The text message says that they still have them available. Now I just need to coordinate a time to actually go and meet with them. And if I can, I'll also capture that on film. So I am back in the comic book room and ready to show you guys some of the books that I picked up earlier today. You definitely want to stay tuned until the end of the video because I have something that I'm going to show you that you might be interested in. So with that said, here are some of the books that I snagged. This first one is some 90s hologram magic happening as I'm mesmerizing and hypnotizing myself right now. This is X Factor 92. It is the first appearance of Exodus, and you can't help but love some 90s magic with this holographic cover. This thing is awesome. It's actually, if you couldn't see it, it's actually Havoc. So I definitely dig this one. Pick this up. Definitely a cool book. This next book is also a hologram. I think it's a limb hologram. This is Spider-Man number 26, 30th anniversary issue right here. I think I have one of these in the collection, but I saw this one in a bin and decided to go ahead and grab it. And I will tell you basically what happened is I was in a shop. There were some bins set off to the side. I'm not sure if they were priced, not sure if they were something that I was supposed to go through, but I did. I found some books and I took them up to the counter and the owner didn't say anything, so we're just going to keep it moving. This next book is straight from mycomicshop.com, which is hilarious because, again, I picked it up in a comic shop. It hadn't even been rebagged and boarded. This is Detective Comics number 577. This is another one of those Todd McFarlane covers. I have several of these books already, but I do not think that I have 577, so I wanted to go ahead and snag this. Absolutely love these covers by Todd, and at some point I'm actually going to read those books. I haven't gotten around to it, but I definitely will. There were a couple of new books that I picked up as well that were already on my pull list. There's Amazing Spider-Man 30, and people have heard me make a couple of comments about this. This story arc that is happening in Amazing Spider-Man right now is not very good. It is honestly very, very disappointing. What Nick Spencer is doing right now for Spider-Man is not good. I still continue to buy it, but I'm hoping that this thing turns around because I'm really not enjoying this story arc. But I am a Spider-Man fan, and so there you go. Speaking of things that I should say the opposite of what I just said is things that I'm absolutely enjoying. And I'm absolutely enjoying Powers of 10 right here. This is Powers of 10 number 5. I actually have 2 copies of this. This one has me a little sad, to be honest with you, because it is so good. It is so good. And we are so close to the end of this mini series or whatever you want to call it. And I'm sad because it's so good and it's almost over. But then part of me wants to know what happens. And so I'm really torn with House of X and Powers of 10 ending relatively soon. This is actually a book that was, again, in one of those boxes in the comic shop, set off to the side. It is A-Force number 1. This is one of the A-Force number 1 covers that is out there. This is not the most expensive one, but it is actually a really nice copy. I'm seeing one pressable defect on the spine. That is easily correctable, but outside of that, this book is actually in really nice shape. The comic shop owner said to me as soon as he saw it, he said, "Oh, good for you." So definitely a cool book. I don't know that he knew that it was in the bin, but hey, there you go. This next book is one that I've actually spoken about before. Brent from IG Comic Store was on the show, 5 months ago, something like that. We actually talked about a couple of books. One of them was Fantastic Four number 286. This is the return of Jean Grey. This is when the Fantastic Four basically found her in, I think it was Jamaica Bay or something like that. And there was, this resemblance to Adam Warlock's Cocoon that turned out to be an old mattress or some, I don't know. But The Return of Jean Grey, Fantastic Four 286, cool book. Here is Fantastic Four number 296. I picked this one up just because I think that these are just really cool covers. I know a lot of people really dig these, and I've passed on them time and time again, but I think I may try to pick some of them up because I really do like these Marvel 25th anniversary books because it's a cool feature. It's a cool feature, and this again was one of those books that was in that bin. The next book is just a kind of a creepy book. It's a newsstand. This is Fantastic Four 300. This is the marriage of Johnny Storm to Alicia, I think, who used to be Ben Grimm's girl, I think, if I'm remembering that correctly. So I picked this one up because I thought it was a cool cover that I've never seen before, a cool story that I haven't read. So I'm actually looking forward to reading this one. And clearly I was on a roll with these Fantastic Four books because I also picked up Fantastic Four number 371. and you won't even probably be able to see this one. This is the white cover featuring Johnny Storm. So I thought this was a cool cover. I've never actually seen it in person. It's actually a little dirty, so I want to hopefully be able to clean some of this off. It's actually an embossed cover. It's kind of cool, and that's part of the reason why I snagged it, hoping that I can actually clean it off. And it's also a newsstand, so I thought that was a little different. Not sure that I've seen that before. So that is essentially all of the books that I picked up earlier today. As I mentioned, I'm going to, fingers crossed, be able to hook up with this couple tomorrow and be able to get some books from them, including some awesome Invaders books. And they have a healthy amount of the run, at least the low numbers. So stay tuned for that. But as I promised, I told you guys I had something that you might be interested in. And indeed, I do. This is the video in which I tell you about the Go Collect giveaway for this week. And I also show you the book. This week, it is House of Mystery number 195. This is a CBCS book that I happen to pick up. I normally only do CGC books, but the seller had some awesome books, and this was one of them that happened to be a CBCS book. So I kind of went ahead and snagged it because the price was really good on this one. It is an 8.5 white pages. This is a Bernie Wrightson Swamp Thing prototype story from 1968. This was actually published after House of Secrets 92. And so I thought this was just a really, really cool book that I think that you guys would enjoy. It is, the cover and the art is all by Bernie Wrightson. And I could not resist this one. And again, it's a CBCS book. Normally, I only do CGC books, but it's a really cool book. So I'll show this to you guys one more time. It's a little Frankenstein action on the back side of here. But if you are interested in entering the Go Collect giveaway to actually win this book, the phrase that you will need is Wrightson. We'll make Bernie's last name the phrase that you need, and it is WRIGHTSON. Wrightson is the phrase that you need to actually enter this week's Go Collect giveaway. Now, how do you enter? You actually head over to the community tab on my page. You click on the post, or you look for the post in which I talk about this book. You click on the MailChimp link. You go to MailChimp. You plug in 3 pieces of information. 2 of them are related to you. 1 of them is the phrase that I just gave you, which is Wrightson. You plug that in and you are entered into the giveaway. You then tune into the Ready, Set, Go preview show, which airs at 7:30 p.m. Pacific time on Sunday night to find out if you are the winner. So here's the thing. There is only 1 entry per household. And yes, I can tell if there are multiple entries coming from the same households, even if you change some of the criteria. So make sure that you enter the contest only 1 time. That way we can actually make it fair for people. Outside of that, I ask that you simply be a subscriber to the channel, that you be a resident of the US, a resident of Canada, or have a mailing address in the United States. That's essentially all that you need to do to be able to add this awesome Bernie Wrightson comic to your collection. House of Mystery number 195, prototype of Swamp Thing. This book could be yours. So head over to the community tab, find that post, hit that link, and enter your information. If you have any challenges with finding the community tab, all you have to do is search for Regie Collects community tab. And I've actually created a video that walks you through the process step by step. If you are using an iPad, you will not be able to access the community tab. I'm honestly not sure why that is the case, but you can't do it from an iPad. So you have to do it from a cell phone or from a laptop or desktop or something like that. If you have some issues, you can always also change your browser. There are some browsers that also will not work for whatever reason with the community tab, but these are all YouTube issues. And I don't completely understand them, but I want to throw them out there to make sure that folks are able to enter the contest. But again, if you have issues, You can search for these things. You can try these techniques that I've just mentioned, but you can also send me a message at RegieCollects on Instagram and RegieCollects@gmail.com. Good luck.